afternoon, you're watching Quays News. I'm Erin McEwen.
And I'm Katie Heath.
Here's what's coming up on today's show. We'll be discussing the latest drama in the Heard versus Depp case,
as well as being joined by our political reporter Harry Cohen to discuss the latest poll results.
But first, the past week has been a devastating time for Ukraine, in particular Mariupol, which saw several battles for the Azov plant.
It has been reported that there are still several civilians hiding in the plant, whilst the fighting rages on, with President Zelensky pleading for them to be saved.
Russian forces did, however, agree to temporary ceasefires between the times of 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to allow the evacuation of civilians, but this has been reported to have been broken.
The past week has also seen Boris Johnson being live-streamed into Ukraine's parliament, saying how they are masters of their fate, whilst also promising long-term commitment to helping supply Ukraine with weapons and humanitarian aid.
The government have also announced a £300 million package of military aid for Ukraine in the hopes of helping to prevent and slow down President Putin's advancements.
Polling stations up and down the country reopened their doors yesterday for the local elections.
146 councils across Britain held elections yesterday, and we are joined by our political reporter Harry Cohen for more on this unfolding story.
The final results of the 2022 local elections have been coming through overnight. Across the country, 4,000 councils are contesting for seats across 146 constituencies. Here in Salford, the council comprises of 20 electoral wards, with 3 councillors representing each. Labour have secured a total of 49 seats across the borough, while Conservatives, who have only 8, so we won't be seeing much change here in Salford, as the council has been Labour-led since 1974. Nationally, we are seeing many key Conservative seats going to Labour, most notably in London, where the boroughs of Westminster, Wandsworth and Barnet have now been led by Labour. Westminster in particular has been Conservative-led for nearly 60 years. Conservatives have lost a total of 132 seats, where Labour have gained 91. While Labour now have the majority of councils, this isn't as great as a loss as the Conservatives feared. There is much speculation as to whether the key losses are a direct result of Partygate and the Westminster Sleaze scandals, but only time will tell as we have the next general election in 2 years.
A government minister has urged people who do choose supermarket value brands to cope with help of living cost crisis. Food has become more expensive as producers have pushed their energy costs into consumers, therefore the values of items may help cut costs.
The NHS has advised to have at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables a day. Use starchy foods such as potatoes, rice and pasta as a base for meals. This should include some form of dairy or dairy alternative and protein such as beans, fish, eggs or meat. Now in sports, this week Formula 1 are going to make history, and in football the Champions League finalists have been decided. More on this now with our sports reporter Ewan O'Leary.
In sport, Manchester City have been knocked out of the Champions League in the semi-finals by Real Madrid. The game ended 6-5 in what has been claimed by some as one of the greatest matches in history. Elsewhere in the UK this week, Rangers managed to get into the Europa League final after beating RB Leipzig. They'll face Eintracht Frankfurt in the final in 3 weeks' time. They won 3-1 on the night to send them to the final in what has become a remarkable journey for them. Finally, in Formula 1, the very first Miami Grand Prix will be hosted this weekend. The circuit, which goes around the Miami Dolphins NFL Stadium, has been met by mixed reaction from drivers and fans alike. The first session will be starting a little bit later today. That's it from me with the sport. Back to Erin and Katie in the studio.
This week, the £50 million defamation case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard was revealed more groundbreaking accusations.
Heard broke down when she took to the stand claiming that ex-pirate star of the Caribbean physically and sexually abused her whilst heavily intoxicated with drugs.
She also alleged that Johnny Depp sent threatening messages such as "don't test me" while accusing him of being jealous of a fellow male co-worker.
The court also saw several images showing Depp unconscious as well as Heard's face, which had clear physical injury. And finally, Kate becomes a patron of an organisation working to support the mental health of mothers.
The Duchess of Cambridge has said it was crucial for those struggling to be given the right of support and at the right time, and also urged for society to play its part, saying everyone needs help, parents and carers and all those who are raising children today.
The MMHA is a UK-wide charity and network with more than 100 organisations working to ensure women and families affected by perinatal mental health problems have high access quality to comprehensive care and support.
The Duchess said in her video that the message of the week was about power and the importance of connection. However, these past 2 years have reminded everyone about the role of relationships in long-term health and happiness, especially at the start of the life for infants. And now for the weather.
The weather in Salford today is very cloudy with a high chance of rain, a great contrast to yesterday.
It's currently 17 degrees and is quite a cold wind. The rain's expected to start at around 4 and last through the night. If I were you, I'd pack away your summer wardrobes and get your big coats out again because this weather's set to stay for about a week.
And that was the weather.
Enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for watching.
This is Quays News.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.